Night on NBC.
It's a first alert weather day. A large portion of the Mid-South gets pounded with strong storms. Is there a threat for more storms? Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers is closely watching the radar. Our Nick Gunter is keeping an eye on the road conditions. He'll join us live from Storm Tracker 5. Plus, one day until Election Day. The key issues voters in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi will decide. A virus warning for children.
Right now, RSV is present in our community in a little bit of an epidemic.
The symptoms that have some parents mistaking the virus for a cold or the flu.
It is a first alert weather day in the Mid-South. A chance of severe thunderstorms this evening. Good evening, I'm Joe Birch.
And I'm Kontji Anthony. Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers starts our team coverage in the First Alert Weather Center. Ron?
All right, Kontji and Joe, let's take a look at it because we've been fortunate today to see a lot of rain around the area, and that has helped to stabilize the atmosphere. But we've got this line of thunderstorms working its way through eastern Arkansas right now. That's bringing with it some heavy downpours. There's also some heavy downpours inside the city of Memphis and Shelby County. Ellendale, Brunswick, Bolton, Arlington, and Galloway. Between now and about the next 17 minutes, you'll be impacted by that. But it is this line that's to the west that's going to bring a greater threat for stronger storms moving towards the Memphis metro. These are some of the communities that will be impacted between now and the next 3 minutes by that line. A lot of lightning in there and a lot of heavy downpours. Meteorologist Spencer Denton joins me right now with more on that. Spencer?
Yeah, we do have very heavy rain falling with this. You can see this entire line is continuing to move off to the north and to the east, and it's going to continue to track closer into the Mid-South. Let me switch over, and I'm going to zoom in to some of this heavier activity right now. In fact, we're going to go down into parts of Shelby County, and we actually have some of that heavier rain that's falling inside the 240 loop and around parts of Shelby County. With more on that, let's check in with our own Nick Gunter. Nick, you're out in Storm Tracker 5 right now. What are you seeing out there?
Hey Spencer, yeah, that's right. We're live on Storm Tracker 5, and I want to go ahead and get you to the road conditions happening right now. We're going to switch the camera around where you can see right out front of First Alert Storm Tracker 5. And we ended up driving down Shelby Drive a little bit a while ago. The rain let up, but I saw an accident on Shelby Drive. And in fact, if you look off to the left of your screen here, I'm seeing some ambulances, fire trucks there. We're actually on the southern loop of 240 heading west toward Interstate 55. And traffic is really needing to go slow because these roadways are very wet. That's a live look outside in First Alert Storm Tracker 5. Let's send it back over to Ron right now with radar.
All right, Nick, our main concern with this system this evening has been the threat for damaging wind. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is about an 8 as this line moves through. Now, the hail threat very low at about a 2, and the tornado threat also very low at a 3. But let's talk more about these winds. Meteorologist Sagay Galindo is standing by. She has a look at what winds have been doing this evening and where, if any, of the stronger winds have been. Sagay?
Yeah, Ron, that's right. We have been certainly watching the potential for some very strong winds. We've seen a couple of gusty winds out there in some of these thunderstorms, but overall we haven't seen any widespread strong winds out there, which is some very, very good news. But of course, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this. When you get strong winds, of course, you get the potential for there to be power outages. Let's take a look at some of the outages that we could potentially be seeing across the area. Thankfully, it's been minimal reports from MLGW for power outages. So some good news there, but of course, we're continuing to monitor these storms as they continue to track off toward the east. For now, Joe and Kontji, over to you.
All right, thank you, Sagay. Well, this wet weather is making for a messy evening commute, Joe.
Let's take a look out at the roadways. Here's a live look at Interstate 40 between Sycamore View and Whitten Road. Traffic's moving, but it's a slow go with those slick roads.
It's also slow going on I-240 and Mount Moriah.
With the threat of severe weather, a shelter in South Haven, Mississippi is now open for those wishing to seek shelter. The FEMA shelter is located at 7360 Highway 51 in South Haven. That's at the corner of Highway 51 and Dorchester. The facility is built to provide safety for citizens during extreme weather conditions. At this time, We do not know how long that shelter will remain open. The town of Arlington is working on 3 outdoor warning sirens that are currently down. The sirens are used to alert residents in the event of severe weather. According to officials in Arlington, 2 are expected to be back online by the end of the day. They ask that you rely solely on the sirens for severe weather alerts and they ask that you not rely on the sirens tonight and instead use WMC Action News 5 television, radio, and other means of noticing to stay aware.
And it's the perfect time to download the WMC Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. You'll be able to see the live radar, get the hour-by-hour forecast and alerts sent right to your cell phone. The app's free, and it's a download for both Apple and Android devices.
Tomorrow is Election Day, and voters in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas will all have major decisions to make at the polls. WMC Action News 5's Kendall Downing joins us now live with a rundown of all the excitement. Kendall?
Joe, this is the final stretch. We're almost to the end with record early voting turnout here in Shelby County. The Election Commission says there likely will be lines at polls tomorrow.
The eyes of the nation will be watching the Mid-South Tuesday. In the volunteer state, voters will elect a new governor and choose a new U.S. senator. In the Magnolia State, a jungle primary to replace Senator Thad Cochran will likely lead to a runoff. And in the natural state, voters could decide whether to allow 4 casinos, one at Southland in West Memphis.
This is a high-stakes election. It ought to be an election in which people turn out to vote, even if they don't usually vote.
The Shelby County Election Commission says they've hired extra poll workers and staffers for the county's 166 polling places. They anticipate anywhere from 140 to 160,000 people to cast a ballot Tuesday, just shy of the roughly 189,000 in Shelby County who voted early. Election Commission Chairman Robert Myers says they want to be able to push out early and absentee numbers Tuesday as close to 7 as possible. But Myers told me they will hold results until there are no lines at the polls.
We'd rather be slow and right than fast and wrong. The voters, the candidates, the pundits are all very interested in getting that information, and we want to do that as rapidly as we can.
The Election Commission has come under fire for slow results in elections past, which officials have attributed to antiquated voting machines. The machines are now targeted for replacement at a price tag of at least $10 million.
The Election Commission staff say you must also go to your specific polling place tomorrow. It is the only location you can vote. Unlike early voting in the county where you could go to any polling place, you can find that information where you should vote at shelbyvote.com under the Voters tab. In the studio tonight, I'm Kendall Downing. Kontji, back to you.
Thank you, Kendall. And WMC Action News 5 is your source for results and coverage this election night. We will be live across the state, bringing you reaction to the Mid-South races getting national attention, including tightly contested Senate campaigns. Plus, we'll have local experts putting this all into perspective for you. We'll be live on WMCActionNews5.com, our mobile app, and Facebook beginning at 7 p.m. Stay with us for Decision 2018.
Cold front bringing the threat for severe weather to parts of the Mid-South. I'll share with you why we may be in good shape for much of the area and where the strongest storms could be later tonight. Your first alert forecast just minutes away.
New and next at 6, a doctor's warning about a virus, the diagnosis that has similar symptoms to a cold or the flu. And all new at 10, terrifying moments after a gunman opened fire on a local Halloween party. The thing police have just revealed about the suspects.
Tennessee